Close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Without question, Avery Bradley displaying his skills today.
It's been about his ability to just lock down the opponent from a defensive standpoint. A lot of shots also being blocked.
That reach he's shown, Greg, has certainly been fantastic in getting to some of these shots. I mean, he looks like he's got telescopic arms out there.
So on the floor for Philadelphia, we've got Robert Covington, Okafor out there with Noel. Then there's Isaiah Cannon, and it's Iverson in at the 2-guard spot. Now here's Sullinger. He dishes it to Lee. 5 to shoot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, David Lee with the Golden State Warriors began his career with the New York Knicks. We're talking about him and his play, and it's sometimes hard to get a good compass on what kind of player he is.
Yeah, you know, he was drafted 30th when he came out and certainly played above that draft slot. Then when he re-upped for the 6 years, $80 million, people started to wonder if he was able to play to that value.
And getting back to David Lee, before the big contract, he was putting up some huge lines. I mean, he was the first Knick to go 30 and 20 in a game since the great Patrick Ewing. And he became the first NBA player to record at least 35 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists since Kareem back in 1976. Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's Cannon. 6 points for him. Pass to Covington. Kicks to Noel. Iverson outside. Pass to Covington. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Out to the right wing. Allen Iverson on the wing. Goes back up. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And, you know, back to David Lee, we all know about his struggles with the Warriors, and many had written him off completely. But then at the end of last season, he showed that he still has the energy and skills to contribute if given minutes.
Philadelphia shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. No good on that one. It was a tough battle down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season, but give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
Now here's Lee. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Bradley against Iverson. Bradley drives in. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Taking a look at Avery Bradley, his career's been kind of up and down. Greg started out in high school where he developed into one of the nation's top prospects in high school.
You know, it's a great point. And as a college freshman, really established himself as one of the top defensive guards in the country, won numerous awards, then enters the draft after only 1 year.
Both free throws good from Avery Bradley.
You know, with Avery Bradley, he was the 19th pick in the draft for the Celtics. The outlook for him was great, but then ball handling and shooting, injury concerns flattened out his development. He had a hard time getting over the hump for a few years, but he's over it now.
Smarts checked in for Avery Bradley. Philadelphia leading by 4. Here's Cannon. 6 points for him. Feeds to Iverson. Stolen by Smart, and Smart with a clear path to the hoop, and he gets it to go.
And with that speed, once he took off, the D just had no chance of getting back.
Well, I think they did the right thing. I mean, just give up the 2 points and move forward. Hey, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes. Write that one down, game players. Discretion is the better part of valor.
And, you know, getting back to Avery Bradley, he's been dynamite the last 2 years. He's finally found consistency with the mid-range jumper and plays a complete game of basketball. With just a little more seasoning, I really feel like the sky's the limit.
Well, clearly the 76ers were the youngest team in the league last season, and with all the draft picks they've stockpiled. They'll be the youngest team for a while, it seems. But if the youth can grow and develop, they could also be a force in a few years, too.
Philadelphia with the ball after Jared Sullinger's miss to the wing right side. Here's Cannon. He averages about 5 points a game, 6 on the shot clock, and it's Okafor missing. To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players to lead.
Now here's Iverson after Jared Sullinger's miss. Picked by Okafor. Shot on the wing, and that one's good. Iverson's got 5 points so far.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Turner. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Ooh, this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Here's Cannon. He has 6.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Lead. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, I mean, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. I mean, the crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
Now, here's Thomas after the miss from Allen Iverson. Nice ball movement by Boston. Smart passes to Sullinger. Thomas kicks to Lee. Here's Sullinger, and too long on the shot.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Here's Cannon, the feed to Covington. Knocks down the 3 ball. Covington's got the lead up to 9 now for the 76ers.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Well, guys, once again, the 76ers finished second to last in the East. Amazingly managed to win fewer games against the East than they did the year before, which was 14 wins in 2014.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hey guys, well, Brad Stevens had some advice for the team over that last break. The focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through Zeller. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. One thing, Greg, about Philadelphia, you talked about this. Only 12 wins for them last year against the East.
And Kevin, how about not getting a win against their own conference until December? I mean, as bad as the Sixers were last year, though, they weren't the worst. So sometimes, even for me, I still can't fathom that's the case.
Here's Boozer. Isaiah Thomas making his last shot. Now Urebko. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Looks for Thomas, gets it to him, and he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Grant, he's checked in for Okafor. The 76ers leading by 7. And Marshall kicks to Stauskas. Screened by Boozer. Passes to Sampson. To the middle. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, for Carlos Boozer, last year was a bit peculiar. I mean, after being a key player for several playoff teams throughout his career, he landed on the Lakers where the playoffs were nowhere in sight. Tough environment for a veteran to succeed in.
And getting back to Boozer, last year he was claimed off amnesty waivers by the Lakers. Now, Los Angeles paid $3.25 million of his salary. while the Bulls paid the remaining $13.5 million of Ezail.
And getting away from the contract, you know, he actually had a decent year. Shot over 50% from the field, strong rebounds per minute average. I mean, he's a professional. He went in and did his job.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
There's the dish to Stauskas. Over to the wing. Inside. Screen by Boozer. Grant kicks to Marshall. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Probably wasn't the shot they were looking for, but they'll take the bucket.
Pick by Zeller. Thomas gets a wide open look, and the Celtics hit again from deep.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Grant with a screen on Thomas. Dishes to Stauskas. That falls. Great assist by Marshall. Stauskas has got 6.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Really nice dime dropping there. Playmaking ability is exactly what you get from Isaiah Thomas.
Down low, here's Grant, powered down with both hands.
What a pass by Marshall. That's outstanding teamwork.
.153 left in the third quarter. Thomas kicks to Zeller, and the pass to Jerebko. Outside Thomas. To the inside, here's Zeller. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Well, last year, Tyler Zeller both started and came off the bench, showed he could be an effective player even when playing heavy minutes.
Yeah, and if you look at the games that he played as a starter, he increased his usage, and it didn't bother his production at all.
And for Zeller last season, his numbers were the same or better as a starter. His scoring picked up a touch. Still had a great field goal percentage, too, so really solid production in his first couple of years.
Boston making a switch here. Bradley's checked in, and it's the 76ers with the ball. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Okafor inside. He's covered by Zeller, and Marshall kicks to Boozer. The turnaround jumper. Rebounded by Jerebko.
And I think the big thing for Zeller was that he found his role in the league. He knows he'll be an energy guy who has to make the most of his touches. And to his credit, he is nothing but a positive force on the floor.
And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. The 76ers again can't hit it. A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Thomas goes in, pass to Mickey to the left wing. Thomas kicks to Bradley. Shot clock at 5. Zeller setting the pick for Bradley. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Kicks to Okafor. There's 18 seconds left in the third. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. He's 0 of 1 from the line, missing on his first trip.
And the free throw line was a problem spot for him in their last game. Really struggled up there.
Yeah, you know, he had a lot of misses for him. And it looked to me as though he just never was comfortable from the foul line.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Picked off in midair. And they're running. Oh, he misses the dunk. Jerebko, no good. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. 76ers ahead, up 2. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return.